All right, so I'm out in the garage with my little 2006 DVX, and it will not start. It was running great a couple weeks ago. I have had issues with the starter off and on, and it doesn't seem like it's getting spark just from the way it sounds. So I'm gonna diagnose that today. I'm suspicious of the ignition coil, but I'm gonna pull the spark plug, make sure everything's clean, clean it all up, put it all back together. But I'm also gonna take that ignition coil off, I think. So we'll try and start it up right now, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so when I try and start it, turning over, but it doesn't seem like there's a spark. I've just rebuilt the carburetor. I got a new battery, fully charged. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull off the ignition coil, which is located right underneath here, and take some measurements and see if that's the problem. To get that ignition coil out, one, you're going to disconnect the spark plug. So I'm going to pull this off right here, and then there are two bolts, one on each side, that I'm going to need to remove, as well as those two wires that plug into the back of it. So once you unplug those, unbolt it, pull it off the spark plug, we'll pull that out and start doing some tests. I have removed the ignition coil, and first I'm going to measure the resistance across the primary side, and I'm getting about 2.9 to 3 ohms. That should be okay. All right, and now I am measuring the resistance on the secondary. So I'm going from one of the leads to the spark plug cap, and now I'm getting about 18.9 kilo ohms of resistance. This seems a little high. Let's check the manual. And sure enough, the manual does say we should be on the secondary side, we should be between 12.3 and 16.6 kilo ohms. So I'm going to pull the spark plug cap off and see what the resistance is of the cap. So I'm just going to pull this boot down, and then I'm going to slide or unscrew this from the wire. All right, so in case you've never done that before, there is kind of a threaded tip in there, and it literally screws right on to the wire. So unscrew that, and now we'll measure the resistance of this cap. Okay, measuring the resistance of the cap, I'm getting about 5 kilo ohms, which it's supposed to be between 45 or 4.5 and 6.1 kilo ohms, so that's pretty good. So it looks to me like we are going to need a new ignition coil. So I'm gonna go ahead and order one, and the good news is they aren't that expensive. The new ignition coil has arrived, and I'm just going to install it the same way I removed it. All right, I've got the new ignition coil installed. The wire is a little longer, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little zip tie right here. The exhaust is right here, so I don't want that melting on that.